Christina Kassler, and today I'll be discussing the lifespan of running, specifically the gait cycle. My family is my volunteers, and we'll be breaking it down. Here we go. Hi there, here I am again. Here's Isa, my son. He's 6 years old, and he will be demonstrating his walk cycle as well as his running gait cycle. So here he goes. He's gonna run. Go. My next volunteer is my sister Julia. She is 13 years old, and you're going to notice her transition from walking to running is much quicker. She has more strength in her lower body, and she's more able to control her movements. So here she goes. And now as she transitions from running to walking, here it goes. Here's her gait cycle. All right, here is our adult male. He is in his 20s, and he will be demonstrating his walking gait as well as his running gait cycle. And here it goes. You'll notice that this is a peak of our fitness. We have strength, and we are able to maintain our flexion in our feet. All throughout our movement, it is basically effortless. The lower plantar flexor movement has power versus older generations which have more trouble walking. We have another volunteer here. We have my daughter. So we're really going to see the drastic change in from infancy to elderly age. And we're going to notice how our gait drastically changes. So here it goes. We're first going to see just their walking gait. They're just going to walk together. This is my mother. She's in her 50s. And this is my grandma. She's in her 80s. You'll notice my grandma needs support because she has pathology from arthritis and osteoporosis. As you can tell, as you age, running and walking become a difficulty. Now here's my grandma trying to run. As you can see, she actually can't really run. She has issues with just even walking, but when she's running, you'll see that she's trying to save energy. Now here's my daughter. You'll notice she runs pretty effortlessly. She has great ROM and has great flexibility, which proper alignment from lumbar, spine, and lower limbs can alter the mechanics, and this also can lead to injury. So as you can see, my grandma has had injuries to her back with osteoporosis. So after reviewing our footage of my family running and walking, you'll notice the person that had the most difficulties was my grandma. When she's transitioning from her walking gait to her running gait, she has more difficulties doing that full striking phase. Why? She lacks that glute strength as well as her pathology of having osteoporosis as well as arthritis in her back. She's learning new ways to run and walk, so she limits her movement. Unlike us, when you're at that younger age, it's a lot easier to do running and walking. That transition from walking to running is almost effortless unless you have some type of pathology or injury that would stop you from being able to do that full movement. Now, wrapping up the video, my last comments on this video would be, in order for us to maintain a healthy gait cycle in our walk cycle as well as our gait in our running cycle, we need to make sure that we are keeping our muscle tone in our lower body to be able to execute those movements. See, as we get older, our running gait is almost kind of non-existent because we're not keeping up with our muscle tone. So you'll see in the age group, if the people that are working out and the people that are not working out, you see a big decline because they're not keeping up with sustaining strong glute as well as their tibialis anterior. Those two factors really play a big part in our gait cycle. So we should keep with this. And thank you for hearing me. Bye.